Watch what grows, and when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world. Watch what grows, and when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Oh, we paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. Turn on, tune in, hear what I say. Watch real closely, enjoy your stay. You'll see me painting from up above, and if you like it, give it mad love. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world. Watch what grows, and when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world. Watch what grows, and when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. 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 We paint miniatures.
Hello, it's Shoshie from Shoshie's Minis, and we are live, and it is Wednesday, and I have my lovely husband Mike here. He's not.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, you can't hear. You can't see him. You can only hear him. Today, I didn't have a whole lot of things primed and ready to go because I thought I might be able to prime my Kingdom Death, but I did not have time. By the way, hello, Arsenal43, Rizarbiar, Artie Wolf, our staff. You will never know. Thank you so much for joining us. So I will show you what we're going to work on today. And one of the things I'm going to try to do is some metallic metals, or it's going to be like a demi-metallic metal. Because there's going to be some non-metallic aspects to it and some metallic aspects to it. This is a sci-fi mini. Hold on a second, let me show this to you. All right, so this is what we're working on. Her name is Dispair, and she came from the, oh, where's the little thingy? Came from the Kickstarter from Scale75. They had a, what is it called? Heroes of the Fallen Frontier Kickstarter. And so I have her ready and primed, and we're gonna paint her up. She is 100% Android, and really interesting. Hello, Jimmy. Hello, Black Skull. Yeah, so I've not painted. You guys know that I don't paint a lot of this kind of figure. So this is going to be a challenge. I just want to show you real quick her little bio. I printed this out. Here she is. She doesn't have a lot of colors. She's a very limited palette. You can see she's a black steel metal color. She's got some OSL, which is some, we're going to use some fluorescence to capture the light. And she's got kind of a pallid skin. Listen to her bio. It's so funny. Jen Hansen was the 7th child, or Jerry Hansen was the 7th child out of 9. Now, if that isn't a Star Trek reference, I don't know what is. Wasn't Jerry, I can't remember what her last name was. It Holloway or something like Holloway? Do you remember what her name
Jerry
was?
something.
Something. You guys, I bet you know. Jerry played 7 of 9, right? In Star Trek, I think this is a reference. Jerry Ryan. Jerry Ryan. Look at you guys. You are on it. Love it.
She was married to a politician from Illinois.
Oh, okay. Is he in jail?
Odds are.
Yeah. This text is really funny. Listen to this. A star pupil. She excelled at gymnastics too. She was the star flag twirler for her college gymnastic team. No one can match her grace and cat-like reflexes. But that afternoon at the Colony Stadium, everything was so fast, not even she could react. Everything was so fast. I think that this is like translated probably from Spanish, so I'm thinking that that's why it sounds a little funny. She was struck by some kind of stunning beam and fell immediately to the ground. A blurred shape was before her. As her eyes began to focus, she saw a mechanical body looking down at her with eyes glowing red. Once Jerry was fully awake and aware, she realized everybody surrounding her was dead. Thousands of them. It actually says that. Please designate your identity, she heard in her head. Are you going to kill me too? No, you are a valuable exception. Please designate your identity. She said nothing. All that she could think of was that her family and relatives were probably among the dead bodies. The metallic voice then said, Dispair is now your designated identity. Prepare for orders. But she wasn't prepared for the pain that followed. It's so dramatic. But anyway, we're going to paint her. And now I have some kind of inspiration in my head. And we're going to try this out. So we've got a lot of metal to paint. Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny, Zab? All right. So I've started... I actually have been backing Bohun's Patreon, and he does a lot of stuff with dry brush. And so I'm gonna attempt some new techniques that I've never tried before, using a little bit of dry brush, and like we're gonna do this demi metal right now. I base coated with, let's see, where did I base coat? You could probably base coat with just a regular black that you have at home. I got the new Monument paints, and I've really been enjoying them so far. I can't find my black. Anyway, I use the black. It's called Coal Black from the Monument line. And then it was so flat that I was like, this isn't quite working for me. And so I used, oh my gosh, where is it? I used a little bit of this Negro Gray from Scale75 Fantasy over the top, and it gives it just a little bit of a satin finish, and I think that looks pretty nice so far. Borg, exactly. You know what, guys? Borg were some of my favorite bad guys in Star Trek ever. They were my favorite. I really never liked Q very much. He was not my favorite. Okay, let's do this arm, because I feel like if I can do the arm, we can do the whole rest of it. And then we'll go to some of her skin and stuff. But like I said, I've got the Negro Gray on the top. I've got it on my palette. I have a Citadel medium dry brush, and I have a paper towel on my lap. And I'm going to load up my brush and then take off some of the paint and just get some, just dry brush it basically. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm gonna get paint all over my hand from the little speckles of dry brushing. Okay. Feel free to chit chat with me. Yeah, dramatic, definitely.
Drama!
Lots of opportunity, not only non-metallic metal, but maybe a demi-metallic. So, like for instance, we could get a little bit of this black metal by Scale. This is what I'm talking about, trying some techniques by Bohun. He just, yeah, resistance is futile. Painter's hand. That's what I'm gonna be having. So I'm gonna do a mix here of my black metal with my negro gray. Oh yeah, there's my nice dark metal color that I need. And I'm going to get most of the paint off, and I'm going to try some of the stuff that Bohun. Now he just posted a video about this, so I'm going to try it. We're just going to. Ooh, I kind of like that so far. Gives a little sheen. And when you think about metallics, you think about each area. Like for instance, this would be considered like a sphere, right? So you want to highlight it as if it were like a sphere. I know that's hard to explain, but there we go. I'm gonna get my edges first. Mike, could you zoom a little bit? Or no, focus. Sorry, focus. There we go. Oh, I like that. So that's perfect. Like I said, I'm just doing like a dry brush, a demi-metallic. So we're using some non-metallic metal and some metallic. I'm getting that kind of metal, black metal look, which is what I'm wanting. So it's leaving all of the undercoat. The base coat is a flat, so that's fine. I'll pull myself back there. And so this is something that Bohun was talking about. By the way, you guys know that I love to back other artists and support other artists. Bohun, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's like, I think a Polish last name, but he's a really, really wonderfully talented painter. He has his own Patreon, and I do support it. So this is a complete plug for him. Because I'm trying out some of the methods that he just posted online. He posted it public, so I don't feel bad about trying this, because maybe it will hopefully get him some more patrons as well. No stream on Friday, exactly. I'm going to go to Kansas City on Friday. That looks amazing already. Look at that. Really happy with that. So yes, I'm going to Kansas City, and I will not be streaming Friday. And I don't know yet if I'll be streaming Monday or not. It's it's up in the air for now. All right, so let's look at the photo, the reference that I had that is missing. Here it is. So if I'm looking at her, she's got the black metal. There's definitely like a strong white highlight, but look. There's a mid-tone. It's a very short mid-tone. It goes basically black, mid-tone, white. Boom, boom, boom. Fast, fast. And if you look at all of the edges of her armors have the white sheen, right? The white. We're going to go with this like kind of bluey turquoisey sheen. I think we might be able to try adding a little black to this emerald out. Yeah, dark sea blue. I think we're gonna add some deep sea, dark sea blue, or we'll use the Scale75 equivalent. I think it's abyssal blue. Let me double check. No, we got deep blue. It's probably deep blue. Let's try that. And we'll mix it with our Emerald Alchemy. I don't know if this is gonna work, guys. That's why I'm trying it on the arm instead of on the torso, because I don't know. All right, shake up that dark blue. Check this out. Here we go. Oh, I love that color. I love that color. Do I prefer to use metal paints? I do. I do prefer it, but I've been learning to mix them, and you get really, ooh, look at that, beautiful. Oh yeah, the metallic with that. It just needs that little shine. So this is the non-metallic and this is the metallic. And I mix it to get my own new metallic color. There is a blue, but I want that kind of greenish hue to it. And I'm thinking we can try, let's see, I've got cobalt. We can try this, but I don't think I'm gonna get the same effect. Let's try it. You're right, Arsenal. I will give you credit. All right.
Have you ever tried to mix them with the inks?
I have the metallics or the, yeah, definitely. Let's see. And I do have kind of some intense green. We might be able to play around with that as well. That will be a little bit of a different texture. Here we go. Ooh. I think I might like that a little better. Can't tell. What do you guys think? They're very similar. Like I said, this one is a little bit more green. I'll let you choose. Which one do you guys want me to use, the green or the blue? They're not that very far apart. Add a little bit more. There we go. Greenish? Yeah, I was thinking that. I don't know. Let's see. They're both pretty. They're so similar. The right. So you guys are giving me two different. All right, I'm gonna try. We can always try them both. Let's remove most of the paint. Right now, I think I have more of the blue on here. Then, if you want colder than blue, yeah, I want the colder, I think. All right, so let's. So if I'm holding this, you can actually see there is a highlight naturally coming off of my lamp just above me.
I like lamp.
I like lamp. All right, I'm gonna actually.
I love lamp.
Is that what it's from?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta take glasses off so I can control. Just gonna brush and almost like a buffing motion. Ooh, that's pretty. What do you guys think? Let's try the green. We can always cover it up, right? Yeah. All right, this is the green. I'm gonna remove most of the paint from my brush. It's harder to do when I have my brush is more wet. Let's see. Let's do it on this side right here. Ooh, ooh. That's almost brighter. I kind of can't tell what I think I like this. So notice that I'm making my highlights wider at the top, and then we'll buff it down. Hold it closer so you can see it better. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, we could do both. I mean, because they both, yeah, it is nice. I think I'm going to do both. I'm going to do the blue as sort of a darker highlight, and then the green will be my secondary brighter highlight. What do you think? I like that. All right, not bad, not bad. Let's see. I feel like I need a smaller brush now. This is a synthetic. It's got a nice, synthetics have a little bit more stiffness to them and make it a little bit easier to dry brush with. Do this. Each plate gets its own set of highlights. And respect the edges. Oh, that's blue. That is absolutely blue. I think I'm going toward the green. Ooh, yeah. It looks, I feel like the green is a little bit more sci-fi. Just a little bit. All right, there's a little bit on the edge here. I'm just gonna catch the top of that. Highlight. Now notice, since I'm not using the dry brush now, how scratchy. And you can do that on purpose if you want some weathering. The blue under the green built the, yeah, it did. I think so too. All right, so we're gonna do that again. I'm gonna use the back to the dry brush. I'm got to make sure to keep my brush, my dry brush dry. So I'm gonna go back and forth with this. There we go. Now the green, just a little bit. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. Ooh, there's a big cat here. Dry brushes always attract them. All right. Yes. So, if you guys have not already heard, I'm doing a massive giveaway this week, and it's through, because I hit 15,000 followers on Facebook, and it's still live. You can still get in on it. Let me get you the link for it. So if you've not gotten a chance to enter, you can do that. Cut and copy. I'll put this in chat. Oops. Oops, wait, don't click that. Let me give me one more time. Hold on. Paste. I accidentally had some there. Click that. That'll actually link. Anyway, that is going to be drawn tomorrow. There's about 17 hours left or so in the contest. I'm very excited. Lots of prizes. Okay. We're getting our highlights. Please let me know if you have any questions. This is all experimental for me. I've not ever tried painting this way before. It's working out pretty nicely. Feels metallic. Okay, I need to go back with my black a little bit. We're gonna just dry brush it back over. Some of the transitions were a little scratchy. Just a little bit. Okay. Has everybody here gotten a chance to enter? Are you interested in entering? Catch this with the blue. And you can tell that I'm just barely feathering over this because I want those to be very subtle. Here's some little cables. Notice I'm going against the cable grain and not this way because I don't want to fill in the gaps. I want it just to highlight. Hello, Keziah. You have 8 out of 9 entries. You didn't do the Twitter one. That's totally cool. That's still, you know, it only takes one to win, right? All right. There we go. We got a nice little highlight going. It feels very Bohun already, doesn't it? I mean, if I could just learn to try an ounce of that man's talent and style. I mean, he's got a very unique style, especially one that goes really well with like sci-fi and Kingdom Death. All right. Get a little bit more blue, a little bit more metal.
Make it more metal.
More metal. You may have done all, you did. I saw that, Cat. You were one, like, there, it shows me like who has like more entries. Some people only have one. Some people only use email. Okay, here's the hands. Watch me. I'm gonna go up against the green, as they say. There you go. Not bad. What do you guys think? What do you think, Mike?
Pretty cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
Pretty fast. You guys know I love fast. Let's compare it to the actual art. Not too bad. The wheat. Yes. So Keziah, you missed it. We're painting Dispair. Her name is Dispair. She is from the Kickstarter, from the Fallen Frontier Scale75 Kickstarter. I've never painted a sci-fi bust before, much less I very rarely paint sci-fi. So this was a complete challenge. Not only that, but we're using the we're basically using some of the stuff I learned from a tutorial today that Bohun let me get you guys a link to Bohun's video so you can see that. Hold on. Because I would love to share this with you guys. And I'll hopefully share this on my Facebook page tonight as well. So if you are watching the YouTube video, well, maybe that won't help. Maybe I'll post the link to it in the YouTube video. That'll help. Okay, Bohun. There we go.
Awesome model, Keziah.
Thank you. There he is. And of course, he probably didn't post it on his personal page. Nope. I happen to be friends with him on Facebook as well. All right, give me 1 second. Finding it, found it. Just go look up Bohun, B-O-H-U-N, and he's got some just fantastic work. Here it is. Dry brushing black robes tutorial. Here it is on YouTube. I will give it to you guys. And I just watched this for a few minutes. Here's the little link. There we go. Copy, paste. There. That's for you guys to save that, and then you'll be able to get more detailed stuff. Like I said, I only watched his video for a few minutes, and I thought, I bet that his techniques would work well on this model. All right, so now I'm looking at this. Let's see. I think a little bit of silver or metallic medium. We just basically, we're gonna stipple. We're gonna use metallic medium. It's nearly white. And I'm using it instead of the Scale75 Speedball just because it's got a little bit of a bigger flake. So you can see the particles just a little bit better, just a little bit. And I need a brush. Let's see if I have an old brush I can use. All right, I think I can do this. This brush is kind of dull, and notice it doesn't have a point anymore. So I think I can use this for stippling. If you don't know what stippling is, it's when you take just a little bit of paint on the end of your brush and you're creating a little bit of a pattern, and you can make a gradient with it as well. What are you doing? I can hear that. Mike's sorting his Armada tokens. All right.
Ready for regionals on Saturday.
Oh, wow. Fancy. All right. So this is where... Ooh, I got to take glasses off. Glasses are off, guys.
Hashtag glasses off.
Yep. Go around the edges. This is where we're not stippling. We're just lining the edges with this white, technically white, on the edges of the armor. And this part right here is actually going to have my OSL and a little bit of red. So I'm not going to dry brush that part just yet. This part definitely is going to have the white. There's going to be light coming from that little grommet. I love trying new things and seeing what happens. Okay, so if I'm looking, you can actually see the highlight. I'm going to follow the highlight. It's bigger on this side, and then it kind of tapers off a little bit as it follows this little curve, and then it widens up again as it touches that edge. See how that looks? Now I can take a little bit of the stipple and just tap. You're just tapping to get that line. Not so bad. Aw, whoa, what happened? Benson Striker rating. Thank you so much, Benson Striker. Welcome. Welcome, Benson Striker's followers. Let's give some mad hype and some, yeah, welcome raid. Awesome. You have Arsenal has a stippling brush, but the bristles feel so firm you've never used it. Yeah, and that's the point. You want a stippling brush to be, or a dry brush even to be firm. You know what? General, this is actually metal. This is metal. It's like a demi metal. We're using both. So here's what we did. We started with a base coat of Fantasy and Games Negro Gray because it has a little bit of a satin coat to it. It's not completely flat. The undercoat to that was actually, shoot, I still can't find my Monument. One of these Monument paints, but it's coal black, and I must have jumped off my desk. Let me look on the floor. Oh, there's a couple paints on the floor.
Purple paints.
Yeah, it is. We're kind of practicing like a demi metal. I'm going to call it demi metal because it's a little both. We're using a little bit. There's the non-metallic right here and the non-metallic here, and then we've got the metallic, and now we're edging it with the white metallic. But I'm actually probably for the highest part of the highlights going to go in with a little pure white. I'm not sure yet. We're going to see. Yeah, but we're using the same techniques that you would use with non-metallic, like edging. See, we're doing the edges of the, so like on this piece right here, we're gonna do that edge of that whole panel. It's not wanting to pick up a lot. There we go. There we go. Crazy cool idea. You know, okay, so I got this idea from two people. Julio Cabos is, Julio Cabos does demi metallics. He does a lot of airbrush work, so. All right, so now we're tapping, now we're stippling our little highlight. We've got a transition highlight already in the middle, and then this one makes it really, really pop. So if you think about metallics, the shadows don't shine, right? Shadows and metals. If I'm holding up, let's find something. Do you have something metal on your desk, Mike, I could use that has reflective qualities? Okay, let's look at this. This is a good example. So like over here, that is not shiny right there. When I'm looking at the shadows on this, there's this bright highlight and then there's a dark. And that dark part is not shiny. So it makes sense to have a non-metallic. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you used a sponge? That's a good idea. Yeah, I don't have any sponge handy. I'm gonna grab the paints off the floor real quick. Give me 1 second. I know I've got a couple down here. It's always the ones I need too. All right. I still don't see my coal black, but that's all right. We'll deal. I don't think we need it per se. I think we can get by with just the Negro Gray from Scale75 for now. All right. While I'm waiting, brush is drying with paint on it. Okay. Now I'm feeling I could go even higher with my highlights on this. I feel like I want to use. We're using the metal medium, which is pretty white. I think I'm going to try a little bit of the silver instead, and see what that looks like when I edge with the silver. It might actually get too stripy. You paint creatures, yeah. I usually paint organic things too. General, I like almost exclusively paint organic things, so this is a big challenge for me. All right, so this is Vallejo Game Air Silver instead of the metal medium, and I'm just gonna, oh yeah, that pops quickly. It's almost, it looks good on top of the white. Just tapping it and then get that edge right there. Same thing with this side. This is where I'm stippling my highlight to match. There we go. We're trying to kind of mimic this artwork here pretty closely. So far, I'm pretty happy with it. Zab says, just came back, gonna grab the paints off the floor. Yes, it's a typical speed metal. No, it's actually, we haven't used speed metal yet. We've used the metal medium, and we've used the silver. That's it. I guess I could, let me get the speed metal out and try it, okay? The problem I have with the speed metal is, look at what happens. I don't know if you can see this. See all this liquid right here? And then there's all this metal particles here. So I really have to shake this one really good. Hold on one second, I'm gonna mute myself so you can not have to deal with the banging, because I'm gonna bang this against the table. Okay, hopefully that's better. White alchemy or schmanky would really pop. Let's try this. Let's try the speed metal. This is basically the white alchemy. You need a nail polish shaker. I know. Look at the gross. So it comes out pretty quickly. But look at speed metal compared to, I mean, it's really fine. Here you can see the particles pretty well, like they're sitting right on top. This is almost like butter, like butter. I need a nail polish shaker. I have, maybe I got rid of it. I had a shaker of some kind somewhere. All right, let's try this. The problem, it's also on a wet palette, which tends to soak things up. Oh, I like it. Okay, because I like it because it glazes a little better. It's a little bit, it's way finer than the other stuff. And it's making my transitions more smooth. Do you see how beautiful? I don't barely need to blend it because it just blends nice. I'm liking the monument paints a lot. Let me show you guys if I can find her. I've been working on, here it is. I've been working on the Big Child Creatives Orc Girl with the monument paints. And I just kind of whipped this up this afternoon. She does have a little scratch here because her coat goes up against her leg. But look at how bright. I'm having trouble with getting her skin tones, but I just started that, so that's still work in progress. But the reds are coming out really nice. Hello, Bill Neary, how are you? Yeah, so that's a started. And I'm pretty happy with the monument paints. They are very, very flat. They're flat like the Scale75 tube acrylics are flat, which I like those very much too. Speed metal is like Vallejo ivory, but metallic. It fixes everything and can do anything. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna try using the speed metal some more then, okay? So now glasses are off. There's a little bit of a ridge here I can follow. It is very, speed metal is really nice. It's not as concentrated. Ooh. Yeah, so that's at full strength and it's not as concentrated, but if I take the silver and go up on the edge here a little bit, I can always transition it more with the speed metal. Yeah, that does act as a good transition. I'm going to put a little bit of my green in there. That's good. I like that. And I think when I want things to be really bright, I can use the Vallejo Metal Alchemy, maybe. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's look at, she's got some little cables. You can just use the straight up alchemy to highlight those. Or sorry, not alchemy, I'm gonna mix them all up. That's good, I like that. Thank you, Zab. That was about the orc, right? You were talking about the orc? Get that edge. Remember the edges when it comes to metals. That's like one of the most important things. Whether you're doing metallic metal or non-metallic metal, paint your edges. Ooh, looking good. She's feeling metallic now. Now she's starting to get really light. So now I'm going to go back with some of my color here, my flat color. We're going to glaze back some of my shadows. A little bit of that teal and a little bit of this black. I feel like there needs to be see? That did it. Oh, I love it. And I think a little ink would probably be even better. But right now I want my shadows to be a little bit flat. This is a lot easier than just straight up metallic metal or straight up metal. I don't know. That's my opinion. Put a little black in here, just a smidge. The monument paints and the Scale75 do glaze out real nice. See when I want the more subtle. Yeah, it does work out nice, doesn't it? You can kind of work it back and forth. Yeah, I like that. That feels good. No, well, I don't know if you notice, sometimes I'll take my finger and I'll just tap it. It's like kind of like let my finger blend it in a way. So let's try some of that turquoise. Oh. Not bad. What do you think? All right, bye, Artie Wolf. Thank you so much for following and watching us today. All right. So there we go. Now let's do the fingers, because that's also where there's going to be some high contrast. Let's do the metal. This is the metal medium again, because remember the smaller the area, the less transition, in my opinion. And so I'm just going to tap, Mike, tap that, not tap that. All right, I've got my fingers all over the model. There we go. Get that highlight in there. Think about where the light's going to be. It's going to come up on the top of these little circles. And on the upper edge of the cylinder. So can I borrow your flashlight again, Mike? When you're thinking about a cylinder, the highlights are going to be pretty straight. And then when things start bending, you see how it's wider here, and then it thins out, and then it gets wider again. You have to think about how light bends, and we're creating that illusion of how it's wider here and thinner at the bottom based on the direction of an angle of your lighting. So it's still pretty blue. I want to do, and I was using a very flat black. Oh no, I was using the Negro Gray. So now I want to try a little bit of ink. Let's see, Find my ink. We've got Inktense blue. I don't think that's gonna work. I really might not be able to find here's my Inktense black, so maybe a little bit of these together. Let's see. Ink is great for metals, for non-metallic or metallic metals, because it helps you with those deep, dark transitions. There's my black ink. Put that right there. Here's my blue ink. I'm gonna add, got another piece of stuff there. Here we go. A little bit of blue, and I think I'm gonna add a little bit of green to that as well, so we can get that turquoise. Hopefully it won't be too black. That's 2 drops of blue, 2 drops of turquoise, and 2 drops of black. Let's see how that comes out. Oh, it's very dark. Whew. But if you see, once it thins out, it's just a deep dark turquoise color, but I think it's what I'm gonna need for this. All right, glasses off again. Ooh. Make sure the cat hairs are off your brush. There we go. And I'm pulling it down toward the edge that's going to be the darkest, right? And then when I rinse my brush, I can brush it back up to thin it out. So we're creating that. Oh, I like that a lot. Let's add a little bit more, because the more layers, the darker it'll get. Oh, I likey. I likey. And pulling it down so that the bead of paint comes down to the bottom. And then when I rinse my brush, I just have water in it. And when I feather it back up this way, it's
Iron metal.
It's thinner. Iron metal, thank you for the follow. Welcome. We create a little bit of a gradient there. Ooh, too much. It dries really quickly. You got to work with it while it's, see, and the more I thin it out, the quicker it dries. Trick with inks is, yeah, look at that. Let me see what you guys think. Okay. Definitely feels like metal for sure. All right, let's go back to the little bit of dry brushing on the bottom here. I'm going to use the green. Just a smidge. You know what? It's already starting to dry on my wet palette. How funny. Shouldn't be doing that. So whenever it gets too streaky in one direction, I'll do these little buffing circle color, you know, buffing circular motions so I can blend it a little better. In the art world, it's also called scumbling. I don't know why, it just seeped right into my palette. And I can also scumble back over where I did that bright highlight to change that. All right, let's do the, hopefully we can do the little bit of pink there. Well, technically it's like a red. So what I like to do with non-metallics, let's use some of this bold titanium white. It's a white from, could I explain why I chose dry brushing that part? I am practicing trying out some techniques by Bohun. I'm gonna go ahead and link it again. He had a video that he posted online and I wanted to try it. Let's see, control. Nope, that's not right. There we go. Go ahead and check out that video. He does some dry brushing of a black cloak. I'm going to put this white on my palette. And the dry brushing, it's like a controlled way of blending. It's not continuous dry brushing. It's controlled dry brush. I just noticed some of these inks are not playing nice. There we go, that's better. And get that transition, so that's nice and dark blue there. Feels good. Feels metal. Metal! Thank you, Keziah. All right. So let's look at our reference. This is my reference right here. I'm gonna paint this whole thing, except, so notice that there's like white and then black and then the reddish is right here and then white and then black. So that's very strong transitions. So I'm going to basically edge my little grommet here with this white. And I'm being very careful not to lose my shadows. This is like almost like it's over brushing is what I would call it. Over brushing, where you're kind of just brushing over that part, keeping all your details as much as possible. And then a little bit on this edge right here, and a little bit on the edge on the bottom, because there is basically a light source right here that we're capturing. Tiny bit right there. Now let me look at the front. I think that this has, yeah, it's mostly white in the middle. I left a tiny bit of black at the bottom. And now I have a couple different options for my red. I have some magenta fluoro, and I also have this kind of orange fluoro. I'm gonna try to mix them together. This is by Holbein, and I put it into a different container. It keeps really nice in these pots. I don't open them very much. Ooh, that is fluorescent. Ooh, bright. I'm gonna mix these two together to get my reddish color. Hopefully gonna get a reddish color. Actually, I have this also. Let's put them all three and we can hopefully figure out. This is sort of like a really pink, purpley color, magenta, fluorescent. Holbein is an artist acrylic, and it comes in tubes. All right, I think that first color is our color. I think I don't need to do any. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this purple, a smidge to this, and see if I can darken that up just a little bit. Yeah, that's. It doesn't show up on camera, but this is going to be very fluorescent. All right. It's already over the white. Thin that out until it's going to be just a glaze. Yeah, I think that might work. Maybe just the fluorescent. There we go. Yeah, it needs to be just the fluorescent orangey color because it's going to counteract the blues in the metals. So red and reds against the blues, or oranges against the blues rather. Make that real thin. Now here's the part where I do just the smallest amount of OSL on the edge of the metal, because that would be reflecting right there. Like that. That looks good. Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Shh. All right, and now I have the white again, and I'm just going to reclaim. Ah, thank you so much for the subscription, Steve, AMA Texas. Better late than not at all. Absolutely, 17-month streak. Can we get some hype for Bill or Steve? Sorry, Steve. Thank you so much for your subscription. Did you get a chance to enter the drawing yet? Because I know that you actually can get another ticket for subscribing. Now I'm just highlighting this little grommet a little bit with this white. So it's got the pink in it and the white. That looks pretty good so far, doesn't it? Pops. Do the same thing with this one. There's another one. Yes. Oh, we just won Y. Yay, all entered. Awesome. Just won Y in hype. That's why it didn't work. All right, gonna hit this with the, make this part solid white, and then you're gonna go glaze over it. Make sure to leave those shadows though. Some of the edges. That's the other thing, is that right here I'm going to get that nice and white because there is the most light. Just using a little bit of that regular white on top of the metal. A little bit. Feels metallic. Grab brush. You can see I'm bouncing around a little bit. I'm going back to these little fingers. I'm a little bit more tired than I normally am. That's why I'm kind of meandering all over the model. Let's go back to the red. I'm going to hit the edge of everything on there. And again, just where I had some of the white, right? A little bit of reflected light. Image. Oh, look at how lovely that is. That red came on. It just looks so nice next to the blue. And then again with the white, we're gonna catch the, oops, a little bit too much there. It's okay. Is there any more grommets? There are, haha. Shall we do some of the face so you guys can get a chance to see that? We'll do some of the face and stuff. Thank you for this lesson. You often have trouble imagining where reflections should go. So what also helps me is, look, I have some concept art, and I always try to get references when I'm painting metallics. And so if you are having trouble, you want to paint some armor, just go Google armor or sci-fi armor or whatever it is that you're looking at, and then just copy the reflections, because even if you don't get them quite right and you just get them to where they look cool, that's still, you know, gonna be a lot easier. So let's go ahead and do her face. She's got a very, very pallid face and interesting, and I'm definitely gonna need some satin skin tones because she's back here. It's very dark. I'm gonna use some of the, we're gonna use some of this negro gray back here. I don't want that to be flat. I want that to be satin. That's her skin. Skin is not matte. And when it looks matte, sometimes it looks weird to us. Right. How's it going, Nicholas? Oh, it's going well. We are working on a sci-fi bus, which is a little out of comfort zone, but I think we're doing well. We're using a couple different methods. One is by Bohus Bogan. I can't remember. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name, Bohan, if you're watching this. He did a bunch of dry brush that was in a video today, and I thought we should try it on this model. See how I concentrate the pigment at the back, and then when I thin it forward, I'm adding a little bit more water. There we go. So see how smooth that is now? Hopefully that is a good transition. Now we need a color in between. She's very pallid, but we need a little bit. I think this is gonna work. Yeah, let's try this blacker brown. I think that it is actually the color I need. Sci-fi bust, yes. Trovarian, hello. Look at this, we're doing metallic, demi-metallic actually. So there's metallic and non-metallic on this bust, or on this, on this arm. We're trying out some new techniques that Bohan tries out. By the way, guys, Trovarian is a sculptor painter from Austria. How do I say it, Mike? Österreich. Mike. He's giving me the dirtiest look.
Österreich. It's not Österreich.
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 All right, I'm butchering it. I know. Travarian, I'm so sorry. All right, I've got some black or brown. And just a teeny, I'm going to mix a little bit with my black here. Black or brown and to get a gray to transition. See, that's nice, actually. I really like that.
See, Travarian said, I got it.
I know. Yeah, of course he did, because he's the one who spent a year in Austria. And I learned all my German from somebody in Berlin, so of course I'm not going to pronounce it right. Anyway, follow Travarian. Really, really awesome painter. All right. So now we're trying to transition into this pallid, almost white, but not white. So I'm using satin colors. This is purity white. I think I'm just gonna keep, I think I need a little bit of skin tone color. Hold on, let me find my Moonray Flesh. That's a really light color. I think that's down in the bucket here. German doesn't count, he said. Really, here's a question for you, Travarian. Which came first? German or Austrian German? That should start a fight. All right, so this is what I wanted. This is Moonray Flesh. It's got just a smidge of like flesh tone color in it, but it's still really gonna give us the pale. Her face, if you look, is very pale. She has a little bit of peach by her eyes, a little bit of blue-gray by her skull. We're gonna mimic all that, hopefully. By the way, isn't it like really early in the morning in Austria right now? Like really, like 4 a.m. or something?
3 a.m.
Whew.
Before.
He's got the artist.
Where did you say?
Austria.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna kick your butt. So we're gonna put a little blue right here, because that will transition nice, hopefully. I'm praying right now that this is gonna work. All right, that's good. Enough, good enough. Too blue. You're going tomorrow to a pot? Ooh, Mike just pulled his headphones off the... You're going to a podcast with Roman Gruba. Awesome. I heard that he was coming to Austria. He and I talk every now and then. That's going to be really fun. Very cool. All right, so now I'm attempting to transition. It's a very quick transition, so that's why I need that brown in the middle there. Because the blue to the white, see, that's better. And we get kind of a gray when we mix it. All right, let's do, okay, I'm gonna try this. This is the white. I'm gonna do a little bit of the Moonray Flesh with the white. And I'm just gonna go for it with the cat hair on it. There we go. It's already got primed skin, so it should accept the paint without looking too streaky, my hope. See this big, there we go. Smooth that out. More white. All right, there we go. I'm gonna paint all over her eye. Just paint it. And the bridge of her nose. Good, good, good. Uh-oh. All right, I just accidentally put a little metallic in there, but actually it kind of works. It kind of works. Because she is sort of Android-like, right? So it's all right. Right on both sides. Happy accident. Little brown. Oh. I'm trying to wet blend it in. We get a very short transition. It's hard. There we go. That's better. All right, that's better. Yeah, I was trying to tell Roman Gruba to come to the United States. He's interested, so that would be nice. Sleep is such a waste of time. Can't wait to get back to more painting next week. Been rough with work schedule and training. Oh man. So you can see we put just a smidge of that metallic, and now we need to go back with the shoot. This is our base color, the Negro Gray, so that I need more of that on my palette. Will they let him in Kona? Is it Kona? Oh, I don't know. That's funny. Yeah, they probably would actually right now, right? Ooh. I'm gonna take a little smidge of this metal medium, right? And I'm gonna put that on the skin, hopefully to transition the metal medium into the white skin, and it'll look, oh, that does look good. Okay. And now a little bit of the black or brown for the flesh color. Very, very peaky bust. Trevelyan, earlier we were trying some of Bohun's dry brush techniques on this, and actually I was pretty happy with most of it. Go back over. I just found some more stuff. I'm like, I've got to pick at it. You guys know what it's like. There, better. It looks good enough. This is the only stream that you can watch, as on the other 2 days, 4:30 starts. It's rough. Yes, I know, and I understand, and I'm sorry that my timing, I only have really one American-friendly stream, but honestly, if I didn't try to have the schedule I do, I wouldn't see my family as much. So Mike works all day, and then he comes home, and I like to spend time. So we do one stream. Plus it's on his computer. That's the other reason why. All right, sorry, that's getting very, I need to let that, putting in some of my base coats again with the green. I think I should have used the black. There we go. Nice dark. I'm sketching at this point. Leave some of that white there, because that's where some of the highlight is. Dry brushing is the new loaded brush. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that no one's gonna take credit for dry brushing. At least I hope not. Gosh. Not that anybody's taking credit for loaded brush, but you know what I'm saying. Where can you find out about this dry brush? I just posted a link. Hold on one second. And then we're just trying it out. So Bohun, hold on, I'll put it again. Here's the link to Bohun's video. Go ahead and watch it. And he does a dry brush above a black cloak, and it looks really good. Right now I'm not dry brushing though. I'm just base coating. Trying to base coat. We're sketching. What? That Shoshie Mini invented dry brushing? Start the show? No! You guys are gonna kill my reputation if that gets out. I will tell everybody you guys did it. I'll be like, no, I didn't do it. I didn't invent it. Know exactly what you mean, if you know what I mean. Yes. All right, now we're gonna dry brush. I did not invent it. I don't even think Bohun invented it. All right, we're gonna take a little bit of the blue alchemy, or is it alchemy? Yeah, the blue. Is it just blue alchemy or is it sapphire? Here, cobalt alchemy. And then I've got a little bit green alchemy, and we're mixing it with the deep blue, just a smidge, to create our transition right here. I don't know if this is gonna work. Well, it looks like it's working, maybe a little bit. So far. All right, now the green. The green, I need to put more on my palette. It has dried paint on the top of it. There we go. Okay. Dispair. Yes, Dispair. Yeah, Dispair. She's Dispair because that was the last thing she was thinking of when they designated her. What did they call it? Please designate your identity. She decided she only could think of Dispair, so they designated it for her. There we go. I'm just trying to get the top. That's good enough.
So how do you like the Scale75 paints?
I like them. Oh, you mean the new paints? I love them. They are very, 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 very flat. And actually the Monument paints are also very flat. So both of them are designed for airbrushing with. So that's another positive that I like about both of them. Yeah, I'm backing them, the Kickstarter for Scale75. I am sponsored by them, so, you know, but I'm not paid to sponsor them, if that makes sense. That would be nice. That's not the case. All right, now I'm sort of overbrushing. We're trying to bring this transition into a little bit of a darker. There we go. Bob, hello. Howdy. My God, I would end up being designated as something like Cookie or Jube. That's funny. All right, a little bit of the metal medium mixed with a little bit of my green to see what happens. We're gonna go on the edge of this part. We're painting a sci-fi bust today, Bob, and really experimenting with some things here. Tricky.
Have a good one, Mikolaus.
Yes, thank you so much for stopping by.
And see you too, Trevarian.
Yes, Trevarian, have a good time.
He's going to bed.
Oh, he's going to bed. Okay, well.
Since you know it's like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, that's not a thing you say to a guy who goes to bed. So, have a good time.
Have fun storming the castle.
Oh, Mike. No.
I didn't mean it as innuendo.
Okay. There. Now it's starting to look more like a metal instead of like a green. Slowly but surely. There we go. Bye, guys. All right. I need to dry brush my blue-green back over that metal medium because it's too light in some spots. There we go. I feel like I need to work on other areas before I can really pull that together. Let's try the ink. I'm gonna try the ink. So a little bit of ink, water. We're gonna glaze it. Oh yeah, there we go. Put it on the whole thing, see what happens. We might have another happy accident. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that looks cool. Now some of the speed metal by the White Alchemy. It's a lot softer, and it lays on top, which I'm not happy with. Let me try the silver instead. Better, sort of. It just doesn't look anything like this because I'm not doing it right. That's why I need to look at my references. Okay. Get back with my ink. So I didn't realize it's actually, it's a soft transition, but it's also quick. It's a quick transition as well. All right, I'm gonna move on because I'm obviously not getting very far with that part. I had it and then I lost it. And sometimes you do that with your paintings. You'll have it and then you'll lose it. And then you're like, I gotta get it back. That means you have to be patient. Maybe you need to let an area dry over. I'm kind of coaching my way through this. Oh, very nice. I like that. That has a little bit of ink with the black mixed in. That looks great. I love that color. Sci-fi is tricky because there's a lot less room for error. And it's funny because there's other people out there that they feel that sci-fi is easier. I'm not one of those people. I feel like sci-fi is harder for me. A little bit of that metallic in there, just a little bit. It's more turquoise. That's better. See, I needed to see the lights and relative to the other lights. What are you guys all working on? What's been going on Is anybody else working on some sci-fi, some 40K maybe? Okay. I found a piece of lint in the primer. There we go. I got it off, I think. Gonna leave that as is. I'm really liking the Negro Gray. I think it's a good black without being, it's not a flat black that's really harsh. I like that. That's better. See, the ink didn't want to lay nice, so I'm covering that back up because I'm gonna have to come back to it. It wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. So Darth Molinex says, "Oh, orcs for Keziah? Yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds more up my alley too." Darth Molinex, in about 2 weeks, Starship 3 by Second Dynasty Kickstarter will send out the digital files, and I'll be painting tons of sci-fi. Awesome. Digital files as in like you're gonna 3D print your own stuff? Oh, I guess tell me what you mean by that. You know what, I guess I should have painted this part of her with some more. Let's do some flesh color on here. Just see what happens. Oh yeah, that blue is really pretty. Blue and the flesh, this is the, that looks good. That's Moonray flesh and a little bit of that turquoise that I've been using on the inks. Maybe that's what I should do on the face and the neck. Her neck is like all cables. It's all black, so let's go ahead. Paint that up all black. It does thin out a little bit on my palette because I'm using a wet palette, so I kind of have to go back and scoop up more paint than I normally would have. There we go, get that back there. And I like this dark against the blue. It actually makes it look deeper, darker.
Start with the black gray base coat on it all before copying the arm.
Yes. I started that, and then we started with the dry brushing after that. So we're using the Scale75, or sorry, Scale Color Fantasy and Games 42 Negro Gray, and using that like as a base coat. I have to twist the model a little bit so I can get in here where I can see better. There we go. This is a good model to airbrush, definitely. If you're better at airbrush, try that and see what happens. Leave these little grommets white. A little bit of ink, a little bit of black. Get just a smidge of color in there. There we go. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies on this bust that you want to like go back in and make sure you get. There we go. Let that dry. A little bit of blue ink. And she's got these plates. And I think that I'm gonna make this, like her sides, the same color as her skin on her face. Sort of a pallid, not quite dead. She is alive. She is being kept alive by the machinery. She is now a cyborg. She is Dispair. The idea of a Borg or a cyborg that is unwillingly made, that is the ultimate like body agency being taken away.
Nalind raiding with 13 people.
Oh my gosh. Is it the Laylee? Wait.
Nalind.
Aw, Nalinda, thank you so much. Welcome everybody from Nalinda's channel. Give them a follow. Let's do some hype and some, like a shout out, please. That's what fascinated you about Riddick? Yeah, I think I saw the Chronicles of Riddick, but I don't remember getting into it, so I don't remember it real well. I'm gonna go ahead and paint all of the backs part with this black. You know, very little blue on here. Necros were taking whole worlds and making them cyborg undead. Yeah, that is a trope in sci-fi, isn't it? And you know, typically science fiction is you know, hopeful, right? But there's also that kind of dystopian science fiction, which it's fearful that with technology will come not something worse than death, which is, you know, total control. Which is worse. Being eliminated completely? Yeah, classic sci-fi is a warning. Not about hope at all, right? Yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and paint all that as well. This has more blue in it, for sure. It's so funny because I feel like I'm adding nuances. You can't see them too well. It just mostly looks black, but there are little blue and black nuances in this bust. Benji Dono, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. We're deep in sci-fi trope land right now. Trying to figure out. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay. I'm just gonna get the last bit of this. I'm not gonna try to do this arm right now because I feel like we could base coat for the rest of the stream if we wanted to. Try not to get too much on that little light. I need to just make sure to coat the edges though so that there's no white spots. All right. Almost done. All right, let's do some dry brushing. Wait, before I do that, let's go ahead and coat the hair very carefully. I'm just gonna use the straight up ink, I think. Yeah, that makes it so quick. Because the priming already has it highlighted. So with the hair, you can just go around the edges, right? And then paint quickly in the middle. We're using just the ink as like almost like a wash. So oops, I got it on her face. No. All right, go back in here and try to be more careful this time. That looks awesome. Just with the ink wash. I didn't think it would be so easy to make it look like cables. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, now she needs some flesh tones in her face so she looks like, yeah, dry brushing is not the thing I invented. Stop. Let's do some dry brushing though. All right, definitely didn't. I would say if anybody invented it, it's going to be Bohun. I'm going to blame him. All right, go ahead and get the edges with this. I'm using a little bit of my green to start, a little bit of green and a little bit of my deep blue. Ooh, that's pretty. Touch those edges. It's all around her collar there. Let me look at her. Oh yeah, those are very high highlights. So we need to go back in with the ink again. All of the hair has been inked. So now we're going to ink her neck and all of the cable working in here as well. That way when we do the highlights on it, it'll pop that much more. Okay. All right, let's look at the reference. There's a really strong highlight here in the middle. We're gonna stipple that in right now. With the green first and a little bit of the blue green. Oh, it fades out. It fades out into nothing. By the way, we saw the Lego movie. I really enjoyed it. If you like the first one, you will probably enjoy the second one. There is a plot twist. I won't tell you. I won't spoil it. Definitely fun to take kids to for sure. All right, this is the white alchemy right there. I'm going to add a little bit of the blue to it on the side here. That's nice. You know what I've been forgetting? Oh my gosh.
What?
The black.
Don't forget the black.
No. No. This is what, so we started the whole dry brushing thing with some of the, where is it? The black metal. Now where did I put it? There it is. Black metal. We've actually added a little black to it. And I haven't been using it at all. That's why it's not good to stream and paint while you're tired. Yeah, you heard that. You guys are funny. All right, a little bit of black, a little bit of the black metal now. Mostly off the brush. Okay. Let's do that over here. Oh, yeah. That's what it needed.
Just what I needed. Can you sing songs?
No. Too tired. There we go.
I ask if you could sing songs.
All right, I'm going to try for this highlight right here again. That's so much better than it was before. Take off that. Use those circular. There we go. Now it feels like that black metal that we had on the arm. Okay, same thing up here. Much, much better. Yeah, it is a cool mini. It's very, very crazy sci-fi. There we go. Now it's starting to look like that steel I wanted. Not flat. Ooh, too much. There we go. You're gonna see me using this technique more, even though I didn't invent it. I definitely enjoy it. Okay, so pull down over the ribs of her side here. Same thing. Cool, very cool. Let's do the, now notice that there's a ridge here and a ridge here, so that's where the highlight gonna be. Too much brush paint, there we go. Some things like sci-fi actually look good for dry brush. There we go. This is all metal right here, so I'm just gonna, there we go. Now a little bit of the green and the blue, a little bit of the green and blue. Put it right in the middle here. Ooh, I like that. That really looks nice. This feels like a Bohun model almost, because he would do this. He would do this colored metallic dry brushing for sure. I'm gonna have to send him this and say, look what we did in your name. Just some straight green right now. Just a little bit right there. See how I'm getting that edge? How easy is this? I'm so happy. It is rad. Painting metals is intimidating. But look at how cool she is looking. I mean, she's feeling sci-fi at least, right? Let's get in here and get some of these little details fixed. There we go. Just a little bit of shading with the ink here and some of the, could be like a plastic kind of, right? Could be kind of a, like a, ooh. Well, in the movie, I'm just gonna use a little metallic metal and see what happens. Oh my gosh, I love it. That's what it needed. Chris, Mike, was it Chris in the movie Blade Runner? Chris. Oh yeah, look at that. She had sort of like a plastic coat she was running around in the whole time, right?
No, that's not Chris. That's a different one.
Oh, that's the first
replicants.
The first replicant. Yeah, that's right. I like that. Just I'm using ink and a little bit of the metallic medium on her skin here area. That's very cool. Maybe we should do the same thing on her skin. You actually don't mind painting metals? Oh, good. All right, now I'm just using the metallic medium, straight, and I'm gonna go in here on her neck. WWBD, what would Bohun do? He would actually freehand every little ridge, which they're not sculpted in. So we're gonna try that. We're gonna try that. Kind of intimidating. Kind of cool looking though when you try it. See how I'm freehanding each little. There's a giant cat hair in the middle of her neck. Hold on. Or a piece of lint or something that got caught in the primer. No fun, no fun. Now hopefully I can cover that up. Did you see me put my glasses in my paint? I just did.
Oops.
Oops. That happens a lot. Drop paint on the floor, put glasses in the paint. That's a Shoshie stream for you. This is definitely a chill stream tonight. All right, I'm going around the edges here with my dark blue, because I feel like that's also something Bohun does. He kind of emphasizes his shadows with purples and with blues. You learn so much. If you try to emulate a painter that you love, you learn so much, and then, you know, don't copy and try to see if you can still try to do that technique, and then eventually that technique kind of becomes assimilated into your own style. Do you see what I did there, Mike? You missed it.
I heard it. Assimilated into your own style.
Zaya says, new emote, glasses, and paint. Hi, Impending Duff. We're painting a very cool sci-fi model. I'm kind of getting antsy to start painting a little bit of the face. I'm gonna use a little bit more of this black and a little bit more of this green. This is the metallics because I feel like there's like a little hole or something right here that I need to dry brush that. There we go. Get that. Highlight a little bit more. Thank you, wow, so much for the subscription, Rainer. Yay, 20 months. You made it. 2-0. Everybody give some hype, Mike, to Rainer72. He is one of my Triptych brothers. We need to give him a shout out as well, because a Triptych shout out is due. I'm gonna put just a smidge, you know. All right, I'm gonna try to stipple this. This is the silver. There we go, there's the hype. Assimilate. I like that. I'm just gonna tap. I'm tapping. A highlight in. This feels like Bohun's work. It's so cool. I'm definitely going to show him this. I'm so excited. Look what I did. When one of you guys, you know, sends me a picture and you like try to do my skin tones, or you try to emulate me, it's just the greatest feeling. All right, that's an edge. Now we have to get the green in there again. Green and blue. And tap. There we go. Rainer, I'm gonna see you very soon, aren't I? I'm gonna be in Kansas City within a few days. Very exciting. There's that green up there. Rubies. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Shinies.
Shinies. A little bit more greens on the ribses. Let's try to get these edges. Yay, you made it to stream, unexpected. All right. And you missed, we did, I don't know if I did a pun, but I definitely did a reference. Was it a pun? How are you, pun expected? We're trying to sort of model the work of Bohun, and so far I think we're doing a good job. Let's look at the thing here. It's very different. This is completely different style than this. Now I'm just curious, where did my arm go? Here it is. So yeah, she's gonna look good. Then she's got this rope-like whip. She probably, like a stingray tail, she kills people with. You're good. Work keeps you from seeing most of your and other painters' streams. Recently finished KDM models and a big child. Awesome. That's good to hear. Right. We're gonna just dry brush this whole guy. Hold on. So which that reminds me, you grew up in a Chinook Air Force Base? What? Greek Knocos, that is very close to me, yes. When were you grew up in Rentucky, right? That's what we call it now. So if the base was there, that was when? When did the base close?
Long time ago.
It did. So, so there was a comic.
88.
Okay, so there was a comic book store in Rantoul.
Or 93.
In the 80s. Do you remember that, Greek Knocos? You had to, because that's where all the they had comic books and game stores, or gaming stuff. You remember that? See if he was nerd enough to go into comic book store in the 80s. 1994. That's when it closed? Or that's when he was there?
Yeah.
The comic book store might not have been there anymore.
I'm sure it was there until the base closed.
Maybe.
What else is there for people in the Air Force to do in Rantoul?
True.
Even then.
Well, okay, so I'll tell you what they used to do. They used to come to Champaign, and they used to sit on the Wendy wall. Do you remember the Wendy wall? The Fly Boys. We called them the Fly Boys. And they would hit on all the high school girls. And try to pick up college girls and fail. You lived there from 4LA. Cool. So then the comic book store was probably long gone by the time you left, if it was even there in the 90s.
It was there in the 90s.
Okay. I don't know about that.
I got my driver's license in '89, and that was the first place I drove to by myself.
Okay.
That's how big of a nerd I was.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you've been there?
Yeah.
Okay, the owner of that store had a kid who, I don't know how old he was, but he actually, I met them at a flea market because that's where I bought my Elf Quest. And his son asked me out. And he was very, very, very nerdy. Very, very nerdy. I think his name was, I'm not going to say his name, but just in case. All right, there's the whip. We're going to dry brush it after it dries. That should be years old, yeah. So Greek Knuckles, then you probably remember Dragon's Lair and maybe even the Book Nook, that would have definitely been around in Champaign at that time. All right, this is just the plain black metal on here. So where it gets thinner. There we go. All right, I'm really liking this. The metallic metal, non-metallic metals. That's what we'll call it, demi-metal. That's cool. So that makes me wonder now, Greek Knuckles, I don't know how much of a gamer you were back in those days, but if you ever LARPed, then we know a lot of people together. But that would have been in 98, probably, late 90s. School shopping, that's cool. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. This is a good town to grow up in for here anyway. I was glad. Very tech-centered. And I learned to use the internet a lot before a lot of people even knew what it was because of the university. You just joined. Did you say you're trying to paint like Bohun? Yes. Yeah, we have seen. We're trying to not so much trying to paint like him, but we're trying out some of the techniques that I saw that he just posted a video of. And I'm going to post that link one more time for people. Yeah, he dry brushes. Look what we have. Medium dry brush. Okay, I'm going to post that link for Bohun's video. There you go, and you can watch it yourself and try out some of these techniques yourself. He does dry brush a lot, and I'm kind of loving it. It's very relaxing to dry brush. This is what we got so far. This gal and her crazy arm, her cyborg arm. I'm not so sure about this there. There we go, that's really. And then we've been building up the color a little bit on the back here with little bits of green and little bits of blue. You know, and just because somebody dry brushes, it still takes a little bit of skill to kind of get those transitions and those layers. And definitely Bohun takes it to another level. But we've been having fun playing around with this model. just a tiny bit of the silver, just a tiny bit. Kind of, I'm going to stipple it. There we go.
Then you probably know the Gangler's Greek Knockos.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because he went to the Masters in Library Information Science.
Oh. Yeah, all geeks are only like 2 or 3 degrees of separation, in my opinion. All right, this is the silver. We're just going to hit that backbone with it. I like that. And then a little bit on this shoulder cuff as well. This is just, like I said, the silver as opposed to the non-silver. Okay, we got to get the I like the neck cords just a smidge. Ooh, I kind of like that a lot. Oh man. Telebadger, wow, thank you for the subscription. 17 months streak. Awesome. Oh, I just got too much paint in her. Too much paint on the brush. This is where you have to go back in and make it look like you did it on purpose. That's my rule, is that, you know, if you make a mistake, make it look like you did it on purpose. But he did his through the LEAP program. He didn't know them. I feel like he was younger than us, Mike.
Probably communicated with Jill at some point because she ran the help desk for
Oh, okay.
well.
All right, I'm gonna freehand the ridges on these cords.
Plus, I think she's like the alumni coordinator now or something like that too.
Don't wiggle the table. See how that looks? That looks amazing. So that's another thing that Bohun does, is he will absolutely take the time to freehand in detail and he does amazing freehand. That looks good to me. Can you guys see that? The line work that I'm doing on camera pretty well? Can you see it, Mike?
Yeah.
Good. It's looking really cool. Let's do some of the silver on the edges of this. Really pop that transition, pop that. There we go. All right, I want to do some more of my, let's try this. I think last time we tried the, it's coming out quick. This is fluoro pink. I really wanted fluoro red, but let me try some of the fluoro orange and mix it together. Ooh, that's really orange, holy cow. Dry brushing is underrated, for sure. It's not only underrated, but there's a certain snobbery. Ooh, that's a really pretty pinkish color. The pink in the, that's a really pretty color. I'm gonna use that. You find like emulating his warm glazes to the top and cold glazes to the bottom of miniature help a lot. Okay, now she's gonna have all her warm stuff in her lights. So we'll integrate that once we've got her lights painted in. And I guess first we've got to put white in, don't we? I'm gonna use the metal medium as my base. Let's see what happens. I'm just experimenting now, guys. I don't know what's gonna happen. put the metal medium on, and that will be my base for my fluoro, and see what that looks like. Let's try a little fluoro. Ooh, it's softer with the metal medium underneath it. Not quite so, yeah, I'm not happy with it. Let's just do straight white underneath it. This will be better. And then she's got little bitty lights here.
Bear really wants your attention when you're done.
Yeah, my cat is like running back and forth across the floor upstairs, so pretty funny. He's gonna be mad when I leave. Do you think they can hear that?
No, they can't hear that on
That's so
stream.
funny. Right, bright, 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 bright. All these little lights.
It's about time.
Okay, I want to do the fluoro lights, and then we can go ahead and find somebody awesome to stream. If you want to, there we go. That looks good. All right, let's try it dries really fast. So let's see, let's do this pink here. Wow. Now I'm kind of over brushing it. I'm leaving some of the white, so it really feels like it's got that glow to it. And then we'll brush it again with the white so that we can tone it down just a little bit. This is really fun. I'm really glad you guys joined me for this. That's got a little bit more orange in it, like that. And now I'm adding a little bit more orange instead of just straight pink. I think, so he was talking about the warm glazes. Would,
No.
what?
Nothing.
Are you telling me to stop?
No, I was telling my computer to stop.
Oh, okay. So if I were to do, let me just try a little bit of, I'm just curious what happens if I put a little fluoro over that. Ooh, that does look like bohun stuff. Just a little bit of a glaze of the fluoro. Changed it, didn't it? I like it though. It's very subtle. All right, and then the one last thing, we're gonna take a little bit of this white, and on the top, just hit the top of that fluoro just to calm that down a little bit. I got a cat here. All right, let me see some emotes if you guys think that you'd like to see the rest of this painted. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna get to paint on stream while I'm in Kansas City. I'm gonna give it a shot if it's possible. If not, then I can paint this gal when I get home. But please let me know if you like this, if you want to see more of her. If not, I'll just finish her off stream. So it's funny because you just never know what people are gonna dig. She's relatively easy to paint, I think. Here we go. All right, there's some impending death. Nice. Yeah, the warm glaze did it, didn't it? It's just a little bit. It feels like it. All right. Utopia Dystopia, thank you for the follow. Welcome. We're actually getting ready to go and look for somebody really cool to host. Give me 1 second here while we look. Let me do my little intro.
Greek Not Ghost wants to know if you're going to be at Tabletop this weekend.
Tabletop? Is that in... I will be... I don't know if I'll be at Tabletop. I will be in Kansas City. So I don't know if I'll be at Tabletop or not. Well, if that's in Kansas City, maybe. We'll see. So let's see. Okay. I am going to host Fishy Wishes. She is an emote artist. So, she is not a miniature painter, but she does the really great art. So you can check her out just to help out any streamers as well that are interested. She's really sweet too. She's just got the sweetest personality. There we go. There we go, guys. All right. I don't know for sure if I'll be back this next week or not, but be sure to tune in to my Facebook and my other social media to find out who won the big raffle. And yeah, and so we'll see you guys. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.